So with all the talk about the New York abortion law, I think that there are a couple of things that are really important to address. And I know that everyone has strong feelings and opinions on it, and I have my strong feelings and opinions, and I've gotten into several conversations about it. But there are a couple things that I think that most of us are ignoring, and not everyone, because it was actually a conversation yesterday that kind of sparked this. So the first thing is that when it comes to Christianity and Christians using their voices, we don't use our voices loudly enough or often enough. There's only two things that we are vocal about, and that's abortion and homosexuality. And I think we get the second one wrong oftentimes, but that's a whole different conversation. Like when it comes to abortion, though, I think we absolutely get it right. I think that there's a perception, though, that Christians only care about the mothers and the babies up until the point that the baby is born. And after that, we're just like, okay, go fend for yourselves. And I think that that's fair to some degree, because we're not out there being loud and telling our government, hey, adoptions are too expensive. There needs to be laws that, will help these mothers. It is hard to be a single mom, guys. It really is. And there are a lot of us out there, and a lot of women are struggling, and these children are struggling, and they are hungry, and it's awful. I mean, we live in America. There shouldn't be a hungry person in this country, and there is enough money to take care of every single American that needs help. But our government wastes money, and we need to start demanding that they use the money to help. Like, let's pour money into the inner cities. Let's give money and help these moms, because once a baby is born and that mom has to go back to work, I mean, come on, guys. Do you know how expensive childcare is? These moms need our help. They absolutely do. But here's the thing. Truthfully, honestly, it shouldn't rest on the government. It's going to, because that's the world that we live in. But the church honestly needs to start rallying around these women, especially when we sit there and tell them, don't have an abortion. Don't kill your baby. If you can't raise it, then that's one thing, right? We will take your babies for you. Christians will. I guarantee you that if you are pregnant and you either don't want to raise your child or you can't raise your child, there should be no shame in that or asking for help. But if you walk up to a Christian, I guarantee that they will either take your baby for you, or they will find somebody who will, and who will give that baby a loving home and raise them as their own. And I'm not just saying that because I have faith in Christians, because there are a lot of Christians out there that I don't have faith in, just to be honest. But I know that there are so many Christians out there who will do this. And I know for a fact, because several years ago, there was a girl, and it's a crazy story, I'm not going to go into the details, but there was a girl who told me that she was going to have an abortion, and I begged her not to. And I reached out to a handful, more than a handful of Christians, and I asked them to pray for her, and if anyone would be willing to take the baby. And I don't even remember, it's been so long, I don't remember if I even asked them to take the baby or if they just started offering. But there were multiple people who offered to take her baby for her and to raise it. And I'm telling you guys, I promise you that we are getting a lot of things wrong, but there are a lot of things that we're getting right. And we need to stand up as Christians and start demanding that adoption costs less. Think about this. It can cost up to like $30-some thousand to adopt a baby. Imagine if it didn't cost that, and those families could put that money towards investing into the life of a child. There are a lot of people who want to adopt and they can't because they can't afford it. That's an awful, awful thing. We really, truly need to start standing together, because I believe that this is where we can find some common ground, regardless of your political or religious beliefs, is that we come together and we start fighting for these children after they're born too. And we come alongside these moms who do choose to keep their babies, and we help them both with finances and medical care, daycare, whatever it is that they need. Our government needs to come in to stand into that gap and to start pouring money into our inner cities and our poor communities. We absolutely have to be doing this. Give them a good education, help them so that the next generation isn't in poverty. And these are things that I understand why some people think that the right isn't doing enough. But I don't think that it's that we don't care. I think that this is one of those times and these places in history where we all need to come together. This will be a place of common ground. And then we can not just fight for the babies to be alive, but fight for the life of them afterwards too. And now I'm just rambling, so I'm just going to stop. But I really do believe that we all need to start taking action in this way.